welcome to PHOTONewsTV. I'm your host, Will. Last episode we talked about features, so today we're going to talk about setup, how to get this kit out of the box, get everything set up, light stands, lights, set up the softbox, the umbrella, all of those things we're going to walk through so that you know how to get everything set up in your studio. So let's jump right in here. Alright, so let's take a look at setup and some of the basic stuff. Bear with me for those of you that have set up some of this gear, but not everybody has, and I get lots of questions about different things on here. So start with a light stand. Open up the legs first. You don't need to push them all the way down. When you're opening up a light stand, the idea is you want these fairly close to horizontal and then tighten the top. You don't need to reef this as hard as it goes, as long as your light stand, just like this, doesn't push down when you're setting it up. And I'm going to set this on the floor, and because of that I'm going to raise the center section, and you always start with the largest sections. Like any tripod, any light stand, you always extend the largest sections first. Don't go all the way to the end. Go to the top, let it come down just a little bit, maybe 2 inches, tighten it up, and that's now good to go. And you still have a top section, so these are fairly high. Well, that's over 6 foot. I would use it at 6 feet. You're okay there. I wouldn't go a whole lot higher. Now, with the 200 kit, let's set this up here. So I'm going to undo it. Set it on the top and then tighten the screw. And you want this one to be fairly tight because you don't want your light falling off. So you want everything firm but not overly tight. You don't need to put a lot of effort into it, just as long as everything doesn't move. So the head's not twisting, so we're good. Now I'll push the button on the top, take off my transit cap, pull out my reflector. You'll notice that there's a hole in the bottom, and this is meant for the umbrella to pass through, and the umbrella mounts right in the middle. So the umbrella gets centered. So I'm going to put this in with the hole at the bottom. A little twist. It's in. The umbrella, all set for that freezing rain we're having out there right now. So this slides in through the hole in the reflector and then underneath. And the nice thing with these umbrellas with this design is you can focus them. You can move them in and out to position them as you need, and light control something that we'll save for another day. Let's just start with having your umbrella inside, and there's a little thumb screw on the side that you can tighten up. So now your umbrella is nice and tight. So you can use this as a bounce umbrella, so the light is going in and then coming back out. Or if you want to, you can remove various parts of the cover and now you have what some people call a shoot-through umbrella. And this now you would aim at your subject. So when you're shooting with an umbrella, normally you're bouncing light into your subject, so the back of the light is pointed at your subject. If you're using this as a shoot-through, you're aiming this directly at your subject. And there's lots of variations on placement of the cover, and that's we're going to save that for another day. Let's stick with basics. So we've got our umbrella cover, and it'll just pop right back on. And that's the one light on the 200. Now I'm going to set this aside. So then we've got our 400, which comes with 2 soft boxes, or the 200, which has 1 soft box as well as the umbrella. So it's a 50 by 70 centimeter soft box, and we're going to pull everything out here. We've got 4 rods, diffuser, lots of stuff in here. So first let's turn it off. We don't need to have the strobe on while we're doing this. And the bag you don't need, so I'm going to toss that to the side. Now what I like to do with soft boxes is put the rods in, and I normally leave the rods inside the soft box when I pack it up. And you'll notice too that there's 2 different sizes of end on the rod, and then Metz loves to get a little tricky. They've got this wonderful ball end. So now you've got 3 different ends. Save this one for last. The larger ends are meant to go into the Speedring eventually, so that means the small end goes into the softbox. And you can do this from inside or outside. And I like to run mine through all the loops. There. And there's a little pocket right in the corner. So you've got 4 corners, 4 rods. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to go around and put in all 4 rods. And I'm not worried about where everything goes at the moment. I just want to make sure I've got all the small ends in. And I've got the large end sticking out of the small opening, which is where the Speedring eventually goes. This one with the ball end, the ball goes towards the Speedring. So we're going to slide that part down, and we'll slide this in. All right, and we're halfway there. So now hold this carefully so the rods don't fall out. All right, so you'll notice on the Speedring that there's one different shaped hole. There's all these round holes, and then there's one that looks like a J from the side. So this is the last one that we're going to put in. So actually, a lot of times I like to skip this one. It comes in really handy for the 8-sided octabox, but on the 4-sided softbox, I don't worry about that one so much. So I'm going to take one of my rods. Let's find a corner here. Make sure that stayed in, which it didn't. And I'm going to place it in one of the holes in the Speedring beside that J hole, because I don't want to use that one. So now we'll go to the next side, and you notice there's a bit of Velcro. You can undo that to make things easier to grab. And we'll go into the next hole, which would be 2 around. So when you're setting up the softbox, always skip 2 holes. So we'll go 2 holes over, and of course it's being difficult, so let's lay it down. Whoops. There. All right. And then we're left with the last rod that's got the little ball on the end. So let's pop that back in. So what I like to do with this one, I'll undo the Velcro here. And I flip this over, so I'll put some weight on it and put that ball in one of the open holes. So push that straight in. You got to get a bit of thumb on it. And now we've got this little safety device. And this helps hold everything in. So I'm going to push forward a little bit and pop that in. So you can see that that now is right into the Speedring, and it holds everything solid. So now your softbox isn't going to fall off. And we can close up the Velcro now to seal up the back of the softbox so light doesn't escape. And you'll notice too that there's an inner diffuser. This one just pops in with little clips. I've already set this one up, but this inner diffuser, you almost always shoot with this to soften your light. Now, before we put this on the strobe then, I'm going to spin this so we can see it. We'll remove the protective cap. Remember, pull back on the release lever, just a little turn. And the 3 notches on your Speedring have to line up to the 3 here. So this is another reason for that Velcro, because now I can hold from the side, and I'm able to line everything up. And a little turn, and now my softbox is attached. Do up the Velcro there. And then the last piece is this white diffuser fabric, and this one fits right over top, and it's really simple to do. You just go to one corner, so you've got 2 short edges, 2 long edges, take a short edge, put it over, come down to the opposite corner, then fold the last corner in, and there's even a little bit of Velcro on here so you can attach that, so now your front diffuser doesn't come off. Now, we're not going to talk about hard light versus soft light, but know that this kit is designed to give you the most flattering light for your subjects. So the 200 kit with 1 softbox and 1 umbrella is a great starting point because it gives you two very versatile light modifiers that you can create some really stunning work just out of your home studio with. So now all we have to do, your power cord goes in the bottom, plug in here, right underneath by your on-off switch, plug the other end into the wall. All right, so hopefully you've learned how to set everything up and you're feeling a little easier about getting that box open, getting these lights set up. You know, the first battle is just getting everything put together, and we know what instruction manuals can be like sometimes. So I hope you've learned something there. If you're having specific trouble with anything, leave a comment down below. Questions, please ask, fire away. We've got lots of room in the space below the video here. Don't forget to click the little like button and show us some love. Our next episode, I'm going to talk about how to actually set up the power on these, sync them, and how to use the Cactus V5 if you happen to purchase these with the V5 Duo kit in the box. So that'll be next episode, so I hope you find that beneficial. Don't forget to subscribe to Photo News Magazine. Click the link that's kind of floating around beside my head here. And we'll see you next episode. Happy shooting.